Hi, I'm Graham and welcome back to Manvfilm. This is going to be a Blu-ray review for Night of the Creeps. Now, Eureka have always been one of my favourite UK companies. They do a whole host of different kinds of movies. I've got a collection of them here. And they're starting to move into the Eureka classics a little bit more, and they're putting out certain titles in there that are just fantastic. The whole Jackie Chan range they've done, great. Enemy Mine, loved that. Fright Night, fantastic. And now, something that I wasn't really too sure I was ever going to get a decent edition of, and that is Night of the Creeps. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, it came out in the mid-80s, 86 I think it was, directed by Fred Dekker, the guy who had the tremendous 1-2 punch of Night of the Creeps and The Monster Squad. Two fantastic movies, and I'm a huge fan of this movie. The basic tale is a little bit of everything. They take all the things that he liked, puts them in a movie, mix it around, and you get Night of the Creeps. We have science fiction start, much like Critters. We have this alien race who have some kind of experiment that escapes from their ship and makes its way to planet Earth in the 50s. So you start from this science fiction kind of element. The first few minutes, it jumps into a black and white movie, a sort of homage to the 50s horror movies, monster movies type of thing. And we get a 10-minute scene play out there of a couple of people who go to like a make-out point or something silly like that. There's a thing on the radio about an escaped mental patient from an asylum, and things happen and transpire, and then it jumps forward 30 years to the mid-80s to this college campus where we get our two characters, Chris and JC, who are kind of lovable losers. They're people who are good at heart, good people, but just aren't really in the in crowd. JC has kind of crutches, and he kind of uses comedy as a defence mechanism. We have Chris, who's just kind of down on himself, doesn't see himself as much of a person, and just kind of lives in this fantasy world. And the two of them are perfectly matched. We get two great characters here that just bounce off each other, and you can see a real friendship as Chris is longing to be with a girl, any girl, one specific girl, and JC kind of helps him do that. And then we have the aliens, the brain parasites, the little slugs that perpetrate this movie, and how they reanimate corpses, and how they start to overtake this campus by infecting people, making them dead, breeding in their brain and creating new slugs that their heads just burst open and more come out. And we have one other person that I haven't spoken about yet, and that is Tom Atkins. He plays a detective in this, and it is one of those two-fisted, hard-drinking, no-nonsense detectives that his dialogue is so overly written, it's so on-the-nose pulpy to the point that it's almost parody, but every single line that comes out of this guy's mouth is pure unadulterated joy. It's just ridiculous, some of the one-liners, but they're so much fun. For me, it's hard to give you an unbiased opinion of Night of the Creeps. It's a movie that I love, I absolutely adore, wholeheartedly going to recommend it because I think it's fantastic. Now, the package itself is pretty great. I went ahead and pre-ordered this. Like I said, I love it, but because the slip cover is simply tremendous, it's absolutely fantastic on this. Inside there is a different cover, which is a kind of rip on House pretty much, and there's also a booklet inside with ratings on the movie as well. But when you get into the extra features is where you discover some real gold in amongst this. So we have the audio commentary with Fred Dekker, and we have an audio commentary with the cast: Jason Lively, Tom Atkins, Steve Marshall and Jill Whitlaw. I've not listened to these commentaries as yet, but I'm looking forward to it. These are kind of ported over from a recent release, I believe. We get Thrill Me, the making of the Creeps. It's a 1-hour documentary, and it is fantastic. They've really went the extra mile with this documentary, so they've got the core cast back again, just interacting, having fun, talking about the movie, talking about their experiences, the typical thing that you've seen before, but every now and again they'll have one person talking, and they'll have like creeps slither by on the wall or something like that. There's also moments where they're interviewing the cast now, talking about their time, and in the background is a couple of the other cast members and it becomes an almost back and forth comedy bit where they're sort of like making fun of the other actors while they're in the background just making faces about it. It sounds odd, but it's perfectly tongue-in-cheek, like the movie is itself. It's an extra that is informative, that is inventive, and that actually mimics the movie by being such a nice comparison, a comparison piece that goes with that. I thought this was really interesting, really fun, and one of those ones that you're always paying attention to. There's no lulls in it whatsoever. We get an interview with Fred Dekker, which is 31 minutes, which is a recent interview as well, talking about how the Creeps came about, how the movie production just kind of started, how he, as a first-time director, got the gig, and what he had to do to really get it as well. And again, it's really fun. The guy's really interesting and tells some really fun anecdotes as well. We get deleted scenes, which is 9.5 minutes. And what I usually find with these kind of things is, it's been deleted for a reason. It's a fun addition, but you're kind of glad that it's not in the movie. You get the original ending, which is just under a minute. The ending on this disc is the director's ending, the one that kind of sort of bookends it with the beginning, which is probably the more fitting one. The other ending is it's a nice addition, but you know what, I prefer the director's version. It just seems as if it should be that ending. You get this really interesting thing that I've not seen done before, but I'm sure this isn't the first time, and it's a trivia track subtitle, so you can play this with this on, and every now and again it'll just come up and give you like nuggets of information about why they did certain things, where things came from, and where this idea happened. And it's a novel way of watching the movie. It just adds another level of freshness to it. You can watch it with the two commentaries, and then you can watch it again with this. It's just another like great addition. And of course you get the film trailer, the usual kind of stuff. Now the transfer on this I thought was fantastic because they've not super cleaned it up. It's sharp, it's nice, it's got a nice range of grain, and it looks really crisp and clear, like one of the best versions of it I've seen in the longest while. I've had a copy of this for like ages ago, like a VHS copy and things like that, and this is by far, of course it should be Blu-ray, one of the best copies that I've seen. Night of the Creeps, absolutely love it. Adore the film. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. If you've seen it, what you think of it, or if you're picking this edition up, let me know in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on Man vs Film.